Hello guys, it's Dale here with new weekly trading ideas video. Before I go into the trading ideas, just a quick note about a sale that we've just started. It is a 52% discount on my best educational and indicator packs, and you can get it if you go to my website, which is trader-dale.com. If you click this button which says browse courses, then you can get my educational and indicator packs 52% discounted. In here you can get the elite pack, which is educational and indicator pack focusing on volume profile trading. Below that there's order flow pack, which is also educational and indicator pack, and this one is focusing on day trading with order flow. There are videos which you can watch. The videos will show you everything that's included in those packs. And if you are interested in getting both, then there's a really special deal at the bottom of this page, and it is a combo of those two packs. Alright, so that's the special deal that I'm running right now. And let me now switch over to the charts and let's talk about the trading ideas. So what you see before you now is NinjaTrader 8 platform with my custom-made volume profile and TradingView indicators. You are looking at New Zealand dollar, US dollar, 30-minute time frame. And what I want to talk about here is this newly formed support, which is at 0.6084. This support is based on a setup which is called the volume accumulation setup. With this setup, you need a rotation, which is followed by a trend. And within that rotation, you need to see heavy volumes accumulated, like in here. The heavy volumes in this case represent strong buyers who are accumulating their long positions in here, and then they push the price aggressively upwards from this zone. Because of this strong buying activity, because of this uptrend, it's very likely that strong buyers were active in here, and those buyers are likely to defend this zone, which is clearly important for them because they placed a lot of the longs here. So this is the level that the strong buyers are likely to defend, and if there's a pullback to it, then there's likely to be a reaction. Alright, so that's the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. By the way, if I stretch the flexible volume profile over this whole area like this, you can see that the heaviest volumes throughout this whole huge area is right here at R level. Alright, that also adds strength to it. So what we need to do now is just wait for that pullback and take it from there. Now let me switch over to the next trading idea. The next one will be on the New Zealand dollar Japanese yen. So this is 30-minute time frame of the New Zealand dollar Japanese yen, and in here I'll be trading the trend setup. The trend setup is when there's a trend and you use the flexible volume profile indicator to look into the trend and into the volume distribution within that trend. As you can see on first sight, there's a huge heavy volume zone right here within the trend, and this heavy volume zone is telling us that buyers were adding to the long positions before continuing to push the price even higher. Now I'm saying buyers here because this is within an uptrend, alright, so that's why buyers. Now this is the beginning of that heavy volume zone. This is where I think the reaction is most likely to occur. It is at 88.57, and when there is a pullback to that support, then I expect a reaction because I expect the buyers from here to defend this heavy volume zone where they placed a lot of their longs and push the price upwards again. Alright, because this zone is clearly important for those buyers. That's why they placed a lot of their longs here. So another significant volume zone to trade from. And let me switch to another chart, another trading idea, and it will be on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So this is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. There are two things which I wanted to show you here. One thing is a trend setup, which already got tested, but still I wanted to show you because that's the setup which I showed you in the previous trading idea. So here was the trend and significant volume zone in here. This was the beginning of that heavy volume zone, and earlier today, boom, this was the pullback and a reaction to it. So this is how the trend setup is supposed to look like. Now this setup was even stronger because it got combined with also a price action setup. If I print a line here at that level, then you can see that the price was reacting in the past to that level, right? That means that it worked as a support. Now the price went past that support in here, and that means support turned into a resistance. So not only we had that trend setup in here, that the volume profile based setup, but also price action setup at the same level. That's my favorite combo of trading setups. As you can see, it played out really nicely. So that's the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and the trend setup. But there's one more trading level, and this one hasn't been tested. By the way, this trend setup had already got tested, and the level is spent, alright, so we don't trade it anymore because I only trade first tests. This was the first test. So I won't be trading short from here again. But this level, which I marked here at 1.0881, still hasn't been tested, and it's still good to trade from. It is based on volume accumulation setup. That's the first setup I showed you in today's video. There was a rotation, and it was followed by a strong selling activity. Within the rotation, as you can see, there were heavy volumes accumulated, and because there was a strong sell-off afterwards, the chart is telling us that strong sellers were active here, possibly institutional sellers, and they were accumulating their short positions in here. When they were done, they pushed the price aggressively downwards. But this remains a significant zone for those sellers, and this is the beginning of that heavy volume zone. So when there's a pullback, it's likely that the sellers from here will become active again, and they'll push the price downwards from this zone again. So this is a resistance. All right, what we need to do now is just to wait for that pullback, and if it occurs, it doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, or next week, it doesn't matter, but when the price reaches this zone, there is likely to be a reaction, all right, from the beginning of that heavy volume zone. So that's for the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. And before I wrap this video up, I'd like to announce the winner of a contest we had last time. The prize of the contest is a pack of my custom-made indicators for TradingView platform. It's volume profile indicators and a VWAP indicator. And right now on your screen, you see the name of the person who won in the contest. So congratulations for winning the indicators. And what I'll do is I'll do another contest for the next week. The only thing that you need to do to participate in the contest is leave a comment below this video, which I'll upload on YouTube. And next week, I'll randomly pick one person to win my custom-made indicators. All right, so that's about that. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time in some next video or in our members area. And until then, happy trading.